Good day, my lovely viewers. Welcome to Eko Learners Support for WAEC and NECO candidates. Today, I want to take you Economies, and the topic for today is mixed economy. Let's go.
Eko Learners Support, a support program of the Lagos State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education for WAEC and NECO candidates.
Now first, let's look at the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to 1. Define mixed economy. 2. State the features of mixed economy. 3. Outline merits of mixed economy. 4. Highlight the demerits of mixed economy. Let's start with the definition first. When we talk about mixed economy, it can be defined as the economic system in which both the states, individuals, or private firms own and control major means of production, exchange, and distribution of goods and services in a particular state. In other words, mixed economy, we can also refer to it as a combination of both capitalism and socialism. Now, in our previous lesson, you remember, we talked about capitalism and socialism. We said capitalism is a system of economy whereby the private individuals are the major dictator in the economy. While socialism, the major dictator in the economy is the government. So the combination of both the capitalism and the socialism give us what we call mixed economy. So let's try to look at the features of mixed economy. Number 1, it is a mixture of private and public enterprises, meaning both the private and the public enterprises are coming together. In other words, both the private sector and the public sector. We can also put it this way: the individuals, private individuals, and the government are coming together to produce goods and services. Number 2, joint decision making about goods to produce, meaning what to produce, that is the major goods to produce in the society. The major decisions are being determined by both of them, by both the governments and the individuals involved in the production and distribution of goods and services. Number 3, governments provide infrastructure. In the production, government play the major role of providing the infrastructure facility because most of the times it involves huge amount of money. That is why the government play the major role in providing infrastructure facilities like electricity, pipe-borne water, and good roads to enable them to increase the economic growth and thereby increase the economic development as well. Number 4, government provide essential goods for the people. That is, the major essential needs of the people are being provided by both the governments and the private individuals. Lastly, under the characteristics, there is freedom of choice. Since the two of them are involved, the choice in making goods and services are being made by the two sectors involved, the private sectors and the public sector. That one leads us to what we call merits and demerits of mixed economy. Under the merits of mixed economy, number 1, it encourages hard work, meaning both the private and the public sector are involved, meaning every one of them must put hands together to ensure that we have an increase in our economic growth and economic development. There is no room at all for wastage of the available resources. Number 2, there is free economic decision making. Since both of them are coming together, both the public sector and private sector, there is room for free decision making. There is room for ideas in producing the best goods and services for the citizen of the state. Number 2, there is freedom of ownership of the business, meaning the public sector, the individuals, they are free to establish industry of any firm of their choice as long as it's in the interest of the people in the society, as long as it does not affect the interests of the society. Number 4, freedom of ownership of property. The individuals are free to own any property of their choice. Nobody is restrained from owning any property in any area of their choice. Lastly, there is freedom of choice as well. There is sovereignty in terms of choice of goods, choice of services, choice of job or employment under the mixed economy, since both of them are coming together to develop the economy. Lastly, let's talk about the demerits of mixed economy. Number 1, poverty and inequality. You remember, under the capitalism and socialism, one of the disadvantages of capitalism is poverty, and one of the disadvantages of capitalism as well is also inequality. This one play a major role because we believe that in a capitalism economy there is what we call survival of the fittest, whereby everybody struggles to make ends meet and thereby bridge the gap, widen the gap between the rich and the poor. There is always high prices because we believe in a capitalism state. The major motive is to make profit, and when the motive behind producing goods and services is to make more profit, definitely it will lead to increase in price, and when there is increase in price, it will definitely brings about or leads to what we call cost of living, and when there is increase in cost of living, definitely is going to affect the standard of living of the people in that particular country. So another demerit of mixed economies is inequitable distribution of goods, meaning the goods are not equally distributed among the people in a particular country. When I'm talking about inequitable distribution of goods, we can look at it in terms of income and also in terms of goods and services. You discover that these goods are not well distributed among the people. The few ones are getting richer, while the majority are getting poorer. Now, number 4, there is keen competition in a mixed economy. You remember when we were talking about capitalism, we said one of the characteristics of a capitalism economy is the keen competition. Why? Because it gives room for everybody to come into the economy to establish. Thereby, there is going to be a kind of healthy rivalry, healthy competition among the individuals that are involved in the production of goods and services. And this might be at the expense of the consumer. Lastly, there is high rate of crime and corruption. Why? Because there is poverty and inequality. Remember, I said it's survival of the fittest. Everybody, they want to survive. They tend to involve in all manners of social vices like corruption, like prostitution, like stealing, armed robbery, etc. That is what we mean by high rate of crime and corruption. And this one arises as a result of poverty and inequality in the system. That takes us to the end of this lesson, but we want to quickly look at the practice question under this topic. Here we have 2 major questions. Number 1, explain 3 characteristics of a mixed economy. Number 2, state 3 demerits of mixed economy. Now I'm going to give you just 20 seconds to go through the question and make sure you attempt the question for proper understanding of the topic. Thank you. I'll be right back. I believe you've all attempted the 2 questions, so let's try to do justice to them. Number 1, explain the 3 characteristics of a mixed economy. States 3 demerits of mixed economy. Now, for the characteristics of mixed economy, number 1 is give room for freedom of private ownership of properties and business. 2 is gives room for freedom of choice. 3 is gives room for freedom of decision making. under the characteristics of mixed economy. Now let's look at the demerit of mixed economy. Number one, we said there is high prices of goods and services. There is also high rate of crime and corruption as well. And lastly, is great room for inequitable distribution of goods and services. That takes us to the end of the lesson. If you have any suggestion or observation, feel free to visit our social media handle displaying on the screen. Thank you. God bless you. See you next time.